Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a video poster using AI, and we're going to test different tools. We're going to test Chat GPT, as you see right here. We'll test Gemini, Grok, and Perplexity, as well as Canva AI. So let's go ahead and get started. So I think the biggest issue with making a video poster is going to be the aspect ratio. So we have to make sure to let it know that we want a wide poster. So let's go ahead and say make a video poster, and I'm going to say make a wide video poster, and I'm going to even list the aspect ratio. Now do note it doesn't always do it correctly, but I'm going to go ahead and put it. So make a wide video poster with an aspect ratio of 16:9, and then let's give the video a title. So let's say the video is called how to make a YouTube poster. Well, not YouTube, let's just say video poster using AI. Make the poster eye-catching so the user wants to click. All right, and then we'll hit enter. All right, and we will be right back. All right, so this looks pretty good, except for the fact that the text is running off of the side. So if you click on the image like I just did, just click on it, you then have the ability to edit. So I'm going to hit the edit button. And I don't know if you can see a cursor, but I'm going to highlight this area. And I'm going to go down here and give it a follow-up query. So you can select the area using just clicking and dragging. And I'm going to say, let's add some space here so the text does not go off of the screen. Please keep the text the same. And we will hit enter. And we will see if it fixes it. All right, so it looks like it did. It did remove the A, I believe. Oh, actually, no, it didn't. So how to make a video poster using AI. I think that's probably okay. I noticed a play button over here. It looks pretty good. The design is all right. We'll definitely compare it to the other programs. But maybe I want to edit this play button, and I want it to be a Chat GPT logo. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click on this. Again, I'm hitting the edit button. And I'm going to highlight the play button. And I will say, remove the play button, but replace it with a Chat GPT logo. All right, and we'll go ahead and give it another go. All right, and as you see, it correctly put the logo here. So you can do follow-up queries. That's probably how you're going to get it to the way you want it. As you see, the first one was just horrible, but it actually makes an interesting logo down here. It does stand out. It features, video poster in white, so it, it's about making a video. And then you have a logo down here. All right, let's go ahead and see how Canva AI does, and I will be right back. All right, so now that we are at Canva, there is a link right here. It says Canva AI. Now, do note that this is a paid service. So if you don't want to pay for it, or if you don't want to get a free trial, you can move on to the next one. But I will kind of just show you the kinds of posters you can make with Canva AI. And so you're going to obviously click on the image. And what's really nice, as you see right here, is that you can actually select the aspect ratio. So the aspect ratio is not a problem with Canva, which is one of its strengths. Although one of its weaknesses is sometimes when you have text in an image, it doesn't always do it. And sometimes it does. So it also comes with different styles, smart, cinematic, creative, yada yada. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to copy my query from the last one, but I don't have to say create a wide. I don't need the word wide. With an aspect ratio of 16:9, I don't need that as well because I have it selected right here. Oh, it didn't copy correctly. Let me fix that. All right, and let's see what it creates. So at first, I'm not going to use any kind of style. I just want to see what it generates. So again, with Canva AI, I tend to find that it's either a hit or a miss. And let's see what it comes up with. One of its strengths is that it produces many images at once, so you don't have to sit here and, re-entering your query in all the time. Although it doesn't always do it the way you want it to. So let's see what it comes up with. All right, so as you see down here, there's like a weird problem with its text. Although this one is actually pretty good, but it doesn't really necessarily stand out. I'm not sure the background really matches. Let's try to give it a style and see if that helps. You can copy your prompt. And this one looks kind of cool, pop art. All right, so it's made a few posters. I don't necessarily like many of these, but just to give you an idea, I have many different, I've tested this many different queries. Something like this would be kind of cool, how to make a game using AI, and it actually looks pretty nice. And let me scroll down so you can see the other ones, just to show you, its potential. Overall, I think that the main issue is just with text. Here's a thumbnail that I used for a previous video, but I'm going to show you how you can edit it. If you hit edit, you get all the Canva stuff with it. So it's pretty cool. You can change like the colors. And things like that. But overall, I just like it because it does the 16:9 aspect ratio, and it does actually do really good design sometimes. I just had a hard time creating, a thumbnail that really went with the video that I'm doing right now. So for me, it's a hit or miss, and let's move on to Gemini. Hey guys, now we are working on Gemini. So let's go ahead and enter our query, but first let's go to create an image. And we are going to say make a wide video poster with an aspect ratio of 16:9. Make the poster eye-catching. So that it encourages users to click on the video. The video title is how to make a video poster using AI. And we are going to see what it comes up with. And we'll be right back. All right, and as you see, this is not the correct aspect ratio, although it does look pretty cool. It definitely makes it stand out, the colors, especially the pink versus the blue. So it looks very nice, but it's not the correct aspect ratio. What you could do is just download it, open up Photoshop. I don't have Photoshop on this computer, but I'll just use something that's similar. Click on it. And then you can crop it, like to 16:9. Oops. to be something like this. So overall, I think it's not as good as Chat GPT. One, because when I click on it, there's no edit ability where I can highlight certain things. In terms of the design, it looks nice. It does what I asked for it. But I don't know if it really, it doesn't really make me think of a video poster, because these are, two people are writing on a screen. I guess these are supposed to be video posters. It just it doesn't match the context. So let me ask a follow-up to it and see if it can make something a little bit better. I'm going to say, take this image and we'll take this poster and make it more clear that it's a video about making video posters, because it doesn't really say that at all. It just looks like two people writing. One of them is a robot. And see if it does anything better. If it does not, we will move on to Perplexity. All right, so we are back, and yeah, I mean, it has posters over here, I guess, but I would say this failed in terms of actually matching the prompt. So unfortunately, Gemini is not as great as creating these posters, and let's move on to Perplexity. All right, now we are going to look over Perplexity, and there are actually two ways I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it one with the default search, and then the other one with labs. Labs tends to be for like larger projects, but I'm just curious to see how it's going to do. But let's take our same query. Let me grab it real quick. And it's create a wide poster with an aspect ratio of 69, yada yada. And it looks good, so we're going to go ahead and see what it comes up with. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with Grok. Again, I'm going to copy that same query just so we get an even playing field. And I will hit enter. So it looks like it is the aspect ratio, and it looks like it's doing 2 at once. Okay, so how to make a video poster using AI. Learn the secrets of creating eye-catching video posters with artificial intelligence. Okay. This one also very clear. Both are clear, but not as it's not as eye-catching, I would say, as Chat GPT, because Chat GPT, it had those nice colors. It was very vibrant. These are a bit basic and a bit boring, but it does actually create the poster. Now let's see if it's editable. Oh, we can make it into a video. It's pretty cool, but we don't really want to make it into a video. So I'm not sure what these are, but let's hit creative. And it looks like it does different styles. I wonder if that changes the content. I'm not sure any of these really match, but maybe cyberpunk to give it a futuristic look to it, because it's AI, So let's see if it does it. All right, here we have two images. One is very painful in the eyes. I noticed the other one messes up the text. So again, you have the text issue. But at least it did it the first time. And I don't know if there's any other way. Yeah, I can actually edit this one. So let's take this, but remove the text, watch now, and the learn the secrets sentence. Just to see how good it is at editing the image. All right, and we have 2. So that's a plus that it has 2, but neither one are very good. All right, so let's give a summary. So for the best, I think it would probably be Chat GPT. And honestly, in second place, I probably would have said Canva because of it past experience with it. However, with my current query, it was not able to do so. And at least Grok, it came up with two posters that were clear. Definitely not as eye-catching. Nothing magic about these. And then I would put probably Canva third, just because from my past experience over Gemini. But Gemini, it could produce really nice graphics. It just, it completely missed the mark on, explaining what the video is. And I guess you could say this doesn't really explain, I mean, it does explain, the text does, but the design doesn't necessarily match, but it does actually make it very eye-popping, and it makes you want to click on it. So I'm going to give Gemini, last place for this one. I feel like it could have done better. It probably can do better. This was just based on this one query or this one use case where we are trying to make a YouTube poster, which obviously requires an aspect ratio. And a lot of these just aren't very good. So overall, I think Chat GPT is the best, and that will conclude the video.